am Priya Galani, your ACCA mentor for business technology. Today we will be having discussion about the value chain related to support activities. Like we have already seen, the primary activities were primarily focused at how they create the value of your product, of your organization into the market. Now, to support those primary activities, there are support activities which plays a very important role to create the value in the market. And the primary activities are supported by these type of activities, that is firm infrastructure, human resource management, technology development and procurement. What are these? These are basically related to logistics, after sales services, how your company is, the infrastructure, what kind of human resources you have, or the technology you are using. Apart from the logistics into the raw material bringing, then production of the raw material, the outbound logistics, along with this, they provide the support to the primary activities. Firm structure, how the business organization is, what is the system, what kind of hierarchy it carries. Human resource management, how you are managing your business workforce, the labor, the skilled labor, what kind of culture you are providing to them, what is the employee turnover basically in your company. Technology development is what kind of new technologies you are using, how the businesses use those technologies. And procurement is related to your purchasing strategy of the raw materials, what kind of cost, what kind of transportation, how you are maximizing the quality by reducing, by having the low cost of the raw material provided to you. So these are the activities, these are the support activities. Now, if we talk about the value chain, so the complete value chain includes primary activities, like we have discussed, the logistics, the operations, inbound logistics, outbound logistics, the sales and marketing, how it carries, the after sales services you are giving, plus the support activities, that is companies, organizations, infrastructure, human resource management, technology development and procurement. And then by combining all these value chain, you prepare a product of some cost and then you add a margin to it and then you provide it to the customer. So if you prepare a product including the cost and it cost around 2 rupees and you are selling it at 5 rupees, so these, the margin, the 3 rupees is the margin which you have, and this margin is according to the value chain, the value you are providing to the product, and this is known as margin. So margin is the excess the customer is prepared to pay for the product over the cost, whatever cost the organization is bearing in obtaining the input or adding the value, including the primary and the support activities that creates value for the customers. Now, if we go through the procurement and operations, so we will be studying about how competitiveness is driven by these two activities, the procurement and the operations. First, we will see how procurement helps in generating the competitiveness in the market. Procurement is basically related to purchasing of the raw material. The inbound logistics, you can include the cost of the raw material, you include the sources from where you are buying, basically who all are your suppliers, everything comes under procurement. And if this is best or this is something which is different from the rivals procurement procedures, so that creates a competitiveness in the market. So what is the centralized purchasing departments do? They have professional buyers, and which creates the value in the market. How? By, first is lower buying prices. If you are able to close it at a lower buying prices, so what happens? A centralized purchasing department in a large organization should be able to negotiate favorable terms. If you're buying in bulk and you're buying at a lower cost, this is helpful to you, because again the overall cost of your product goes down as compared to the rivals. And then if you are also selling it at a selling price which exists in the market, so you'll be able to make the more margin. So basically what focuses on procurement to increase the competitiveness is how low purchasing of raw material can happen with what all factors. So lower buying prices, then we go to sourcing supplies. Who are the suitable suppliers from which you can get the quality raw materials at a lower cost? Next, same quality of purchases, that if you're buying particular items, so how they have specialized quality, and how it is possible when you have a good purchasing department, the people are actually specialized, they have good knowledge about from where to buy and what quality to buy. Then comes cooperating with suppliers. What is that? If you create a value where you have generated that kind of relationship with the suppliers, and then with the suppliers and with the customers, and then they are coming together working in a collaborative way, so it generates a value, because you know the supplier, you are the additional person who's adding value, you know the customers, and you three have good relationship among each other, so a value chain is created. And when this chain is created, and it gives the maximum benefit rather than hunting here and there for both the ends, for the suppliers as well as for the customers, you have a chain, you are sorted with that thing. So this is very much important, and it is known as, it generates the network of the value, that is value network, which we will be studying in the next parts. Then comes competitiveness through operations. Now we have seen how procurement plays an important role in having the competitiveness in the market. We will be going through now, after procurement, how operations bring a value to the organization and creates that competitiveness. So we will see, if production efficiency is there, so greater production efficiency, what helps in reducing the cost, and it creates a value, generates, contributes to the firm's competitiveness. So you can sell it to the selling price at a certain level, and then you can have a greater margin. Automation, we are talking about the operations that are going into the organization. So first is production efficiency. If you have efficiency, if you have good automation in the organization, your machinery is not a manual or it is not labor intensive, then it can improve the efficiency, and once it improves the efficiency, you can have better production methods, it generates the efficiency overall. Then reducing rejected items and waste. If you are able to reduce the wastage happening while creating some product, if you can reduce the waste, so what happens, and still you are able to maintain that quality standard, so what happens, your wastage is low, your cost will get lower, and you can generate more competitiveness in the market. And next is quick throughput. That means if you can speed up the production process, so it enables organization to have more output, and then the delivery time also gets improved, because the production processes has a speed, and it generates the supply is more, the quality deliverable time gets reduced, and it creates the competitiveness in the market. Standardization, again, if you use more standardization in your product components, then it also generates the competitiveness in the market. So flexibility, now a production system should always be flexible, it should not be rigid. Flexible in terms of, if there is some technology advancement, or if there is some change in the industry, or maybe some things are restricted now, so your production system should be in such a manner that it can quickly switch to the change and difference in producing the product. Like earlier we were thinking that CDs are in the market, so we were producing that, suddenly there was a switch, and that switch was so sudden that people started using the DVDs. So you should be able to switch quickly, you should have the production system so flexible, and if there is flexibility, it improves the efficiency, it helps a firm to give more or better products or the competitive products to the customers, and that's how we create the competitiveness in the market. Next, if we talk about competitiveness in terms of marketing and service, so marketing, how marketing helps a firm, product, and services to produce or to persuade the customers to buy them is customer interaction and experience. If you provide the quality in after sales, or you provide the quality in the marketing, you make customers aware of what's going on. If you have a well trained sales staff, if you provide a good user experience to your customer, so what happens, they will come up to you instead of going to the rivals, and that helps in generating the competitiveness in the market. Next is advertising. So, how you are raising the awareness, how you are generating the interest through various communication modes like events or road shows, billboards, social media, television, radio, how you are doing your endorsement. That helps in creating the awareness, and if you are creating awareness about your product, it helps in generating the competitiveness, and your product is more valuable than the product of the rivals existing in the market. Market research, if you have done proper research about the customer segment you are offering your product to whom to give that, if you properly inform them about the product development, if you are able to have some analytics where you are focusing on what type of customer to get the target on, you are creating a difference in the market. How competitiveness can go through the service, that means if we talk about service, this is the user experience after having the product, the after sale service. Somebody has purchased the car, now he will come back to you for any query, for any problem, for the servicing of the car. So then it matters a lot how you are providing the after sale service. And if a good service encourages the trust in the customer, and if that person trust your product or your company, that whenever we go to them we get a good warm welcome, we get good services, then there is a word of mouth also runs for them, and this is how you generate value for your product which has already been sold to the customers. And in summarizing this, we will be having a discussion about what is the value network. Basically, value network is accumulating everything like customers. There are some customers who are buying your product, there are some suppliers from whom you are buying the product, and then you are generating something. So this all cumulatively comes to the value network, which we will be having a discussion in the next part of our video. Thank you so much.